Hey there, y'all. Disney Deep Prince here today with another doll craft. Today we are taking the new Mattel articulated mermaids and giving them some articulated arms. So this is a craft that's using some supplies that I already had on hand, namely dolls that are articulated but not made to move. And now with this mermaid, all I want is articulated, really. So though the torsos look different, as you can see, there is a difference between the mermaid torso and the articulated torso. I'm hoping the shoulder joints are the same. And the shoulder joints should look like this. It's just a nice little free spinning joint in there. And this is what the arms look like. There's just a little peg in there. It's not really broken. It just slips behind that rotating part. And now, as you can see, it does tear a little bit when you take the arm out sometimes. You can see it better on this one. It tears just a little right around there, but that part is going to be inside your body anyway. And this is from just like a regular articulated doll that I took apart to compare to our standard ones. This is a standard Mattel torso that's not from an articulated doll. This is just a straight arm doll like this, which is what I'm thinking is in here, if I'm right. And if you're interested, here's what the leg joints look like. You can actually pop these out without any hot water. But that leads us to today's project. So to get these joints to soften, you have to put them in boiling water. There is no other way to really do it. You just have to do it. So without further ado, and then while the doll is still pliable, you have to put the arm back in. So we're going to take the arms off of the mermaid first to see if the joints are as I expect them to be, because if they're not, we're going to have to reevaluate our plan. But based on what it looks like in there, I'm seeing that clear joint again. So I'm thinking it's going to look exactly like this underneath that arm. So it's going to be the difference between swapping the arms and having to mod the arms by taking them and cutting them with a like a flush cutter or something like that. But what we're going to do is we are going to use some tongs. Are they really tongs if you don't go like this? And we are going to put her into the hot water, just barely up to those shoulder joints. We don't need the whole arm pliable, and we don't really need to loosen any of the other joints. We just need to do this to where it is going to be loosened. You don't need to leave them in there for too long, but it's a guessing game, really. So we've got her out. Remember, boiling water is very hot, so always be careful. Whoop. Okay. So it is the same arm. Same joint in there. You guys can see that. Same joint. We did get just a little separation on our shoulder, but that's okay. It's to be expected. We're going to have to quickly get this other arm out. Okay. So now we've got both of our arms off, and they're ready to go. You can actually put them just in the boiling water a little bit to get those tears to close up a little bit more. Just like that. and they close up pretty well. So now we're ready to go with taking our articulated doll and putting those arms on there. So this is going to be a quick swap because that's what we have to do to make them stay. So we are going to do that. Again, you don't have to use tongs if you're comfortable just holding the doll. You can just hold the doll. I like tongs because fire bad. Fire bad. I'm like Frankenstein. So again, just up to those shoulder joints. We don't need to loosen anything else, really. Try not to put it directly onto the bottom of the pot or the sides, because you will get like melting marks. So it's an easier way to do it than actually just modding them, because they'll never really look as good when you mod them as it would be with the standard ones. So we're going to use this method to articulate all of our mermaids that come out with this body, because I really like the articulated tail, but I want some articulated mermaid bodies that are fully articulated at least. Okay. And now that we've got those out, we're going to use our whatchamacallit to get them off. A little bit hot. Okay. Okay. And we're going to actually dip this back in there to help close that up a little bit. Keep it pliable. And we're going to try to go just around our shoulder joints. It is going to be a little bit of a trial and error to keep these together. Actually, just a little bit of an issue. It's technically on there, but one side of it is crimped, and I don't really have a good way to uncrimp that. Okay, so we're going to have to get that hot again so we can remold it. Again, we're going to try to get our doll arm back in there. Okay. We're just going to try to trim it just a little bit to get this to fit in there better. So there we go, that's how it fits now. She's got a little bit of a broader shoulder and still a little bit of a gap right there, but that's okay. So, of course, we're going to have to take this off and put it back in the water for a minute. To get that loosened back up so we can take the other arm off. Okay. And we're going to try to get this off. Okay. So we got that off. Again, it puts a little bit of a dent in it when you just do it a little roughly, but we just use the boiling water to help reset it. And then we pop it right back in. And now we've got our arm that is articulated right back on the joint, and we have a fully articulated Ariel doll. And just to show you guys further what that looks like, let me grab her head to put it back on. So we've got her head, her Hallie head, and then we just pop her right back on, just like that. And now she is articulated. She can talk to her little animal friends, and she looks pretty good. Now, she's not made to move, but she looks a lot better than what she did, which is she didn't have any articulation in her arms. So I count that a success. And like I said, if you're worried about that split, you can always just do an extra little dip in the water to get her to close up a bit more. I'm not too worried about that. I may fix it in later days, but for now, I think she looks pretty good. What do y'all think? So that is the process. Again, you can take these and put them on the other doll. You can save custom arms to do, I don't know, whatever crazy Sid projects you want to do. But it's not hard. I mean, that took me like 15 minutes total. And that's with trying to do this so you guys can see. So it's not bad. Now, this does only work if you've been like me and saved a bunch of articulated bodies that you don't mind cannibalizing. So that's kind of where we're at. So if you guys have any questions on the process, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed it, leave me a like. And as always, follow along for some more fun doll projects. Bye, y'all. Be good.